What is up, traders? Hope everybody's doing well. Today's lecture is going to be a light one. Today I'm going to talk about news, news to trade, and news that are you're not allowed to trade at when they occur, days to trade with news and all that. So first of all, NFP, CPI, PPI, FOMC meetings. These news you want to avoid completely trading. Generally, you want to avoid even trading days, especially as a beginner. You want to avoid trading days that have these news, right? So when you have an NFP day, a CPI day, a PPI day, an FOMC day, you want to just avoid trading that day generally as a beginner, right? Now, when you have major news later in the day, so like at 2 p.m. New York time, you want to avoid the entire day, right? For me, if you have news like FOMC meetings later in the day at 2 p.m. New York time, I will just avoid the entire day because the market most likely, usually, most of the time, will just not move or not give clear price action because it's waiting for that major news, which is the meeting, okay? But other than that, NFP, CPI, PPI, you have those at 8:30, usually 8:30 in the morning. So you want to avoid trading anything before that, obviously. And then after that, in the beginning, don't trade. But later on, it is permissible to trade once you get a hang of what you're doing. And on those days, you need to be extremely de-risked, okay? Because those days are less probability than the other days, okay? And then on NFP weeks, which is the first week of each month, right? So as of my recording right now, it's the 6th of February. It's Thursday. On Friday, which is tomorrow, there's NFP, which is each first week of each month, you have NFP news. That week, all of that week, right? The first week, Mondays, you want to trade. Mondays are nice. They're high probability. But other than that, generally Mondays are not the best days to trade. It doesn't mean not trade them. It just means de-risk. Okay? This is especially as a beginner trader. So generally speaking, Mondays de-risk or just completely avoid. On NFP weeks specifically, you want to be trading Mondays because it just gives cleaner and more clear price action. Okay? So NFPs are always on Friday. So the Monday of that Friday, you want to trade that Monday, no problem. But Mondays other than that week, you want to avoid completely as a beginner or extremely de-risk your size or de-risk trading, okay? So these news, NFP, CPI, PPI, FOMC meetings, end of the day, you don't want to be trading the entire day. Even I avoid that day. And then CPI, PPI, you want to not trade before that. And after, you want to be extremely de-risk, okay? How do you find these news? It's on Forex Factory. I'm going to show you guys right now. So here, if you go to Forex Factory, you'll see all the news. To me, I have a filter on, which is on the right here. You don't want to care about the yellow and orange folder news. They're not important. Don't even have them. Don't bother. The only ones that you want to keep on are obviously if you have holidays and then the red folder. So I apply that filter. And usually I just have the USD on, so I'll just remove everything here because nothing matters, and then just apply filter, and then all you'll have is the important USD news, and then if you have a holiday, right? So you'll see here NFP, which is on Friday, tomorrow, non-farm payroll. So you want to be very cautious on these weeks on Friday, and then you usually just don't want to trade that Friday entirely, but if you do, you want to be extremely de-risked. So that's in terms of the news. And then, as I said, orange folder, yellow folder, don't even bother. The effect they have on the markets is very, it's almost not even noticeable, so don't even bother about that. All you need is the red folder news, and not all red folders, even, you should just, if you go here Wednesday, or even tomorrow, let's say Thursday, right? Unemployment claims at 4:30 p.m. my time, which is 8:30 p.m., 8:30 a.m. New York time. you don't like it's not that impactful of news, right? The news that you want to be careful the most are the four news that I mentioned in the beginning of the video, right? Other than that, these red folder news, they do have effect on the market, but not as much as the four that I mentioned. And it's totally permissible to trade in these days where you have these unemployment claims, or if you go down to Wednesday, February the 12th, core PPI, these like, and it's at 4:30 as well, or 8:30 a.m. It's not our trading time, which is the 9:50 macro, 10:10, or 11:50 macro, 12:10 that I taught you guys. So it's not on our macro, it's before, it's way before. Even if you have news at 10 a.m., which is red folder, usually as a beginner, you want to wait until the news come, and then you can trade right after if you find a setup, right? Like you just, the reason being is that news, since it's a red folder, so it is high impact. It might have some sort of small manipulation on the market, or the market could move quite quickly and it could stop you out with slippage if you get stopped out. But generally, red folder news that are not the four that I mentioned in the beginning, they are not highly manipulated, and they generally just push price to the correct bias. If so, let's say the market wants to push up, the market will just give energy to push up, so it will just accelerate in the direction. But as a beginner, when you have red folder news that are at 10 a.m. New York time, you want to generally just wait until after the news happen, and then if a setup appears, then enter. And then the four very major news that I mentioned, you do not want to trade before them. And then FOMC meetings the entire day, since FOMC is usually at the end of the day or in the PM session, you don't want to trade the entire day. And then weeks like NFP, the first week of each month, Mondays, you want to trade them even as a beginner. Other than that, Mondays you generally want to avoid or de-risk on, because it's the first day of the week. People just want to come on and trade, and it's, you get a lot of fake outs and stop outs. Okay, so that's gonna kind of what I would say about news. Quick lecture, it's easy. Just put these notes on. So when I say like, okay, this Monday is high probability, this Monday is not high probability, you kind of know why. When I say, okay, today we're not going to trade, you kind of look at the news and you see, okay, there's NFP or there's CPI or whatever. You get a gauge, you get an idea why I'm saying these things. News, they're important. We have to keep an eye on them. Not all of them. The main ones are the most important that I mentioned. And yeah, that's going to be it. Hope you guys found this insightful. If you have any questions, ask them through. And until next time, stay safe and happy trading.